going to try something a little different today. I'm going to try and show you how you can illustrate, or as I'm going to say throughout the video, embellish your own letters, postcards, notes to people. I don't think you should be afraid if you think, oh, I can't draw, because I've got some simple little things that I think will help out a lot. Basically, boil things down to the basics, and add a lot of love to your letters. All right, let's check this out. Okay, so when you're going to embellish your letters, I think there's a big difference between just sending somebody an email and sending them a letter that's handwritten. You're able to pour a lot of love into that letter. It could just be, since it's a postcard, or if it's a postcard, it's a very informal. Just send something quick and easy, just a little statement. But here's what I was thinking for ways you can embellish. So a lot of people, the real basic icon of a flower is basically just a circle and a bunch of petals around it. So the cool thing is once you have that, you can just draw a whole bunch of them, and then not let them overlap. It doesn't even matter how many petals you have, just so long as you end up at the right place. So let's go do one that's just got 4 petals. One with a lot of little ones. And then you can even, once you have that, you can change it up here, because here's something that everybody draws. Let's just do the petals. And then something that there's a artist named I think it's Murakami. His name is Murakami. And a little smiley face, and then put in a stem. If you want it to be, you could do a straight stem, or just put a little curve, give them a little motion, Then draw some leaves, like hands. Hey, buddy. Love ya. Simple. Real basic things, but just letting people know. And it's for the price of a stamp, a letter, postcard. Give them, especially nowadays when we're kind of stuck inside. When we're kind of stuck inside, that people just we got to be able to tell each other that we love you, and we're not able to get close enough to hug. So send a letter. Let's virtual. I guess it's a virtual hug, sort of, except because it's an object, it's not quite as virtual. So, okay. So another thing you can do with your flowers is start with an ellipse, the oval. But then instead of having the petals go all the way around, let's start with petals that kind of go like this. Basically 3/4 of the way. Put some dots in there. A couple of lines for petals, and sometimes there's a little bit of stuff underneath the flower. And then let's do that. Give a little curve. Throw some other crazy looking leaves in there. Let's add some musical notes. Dance, dance, baby. Oh, and I thought this would be an easy one. Here's an easy sentiment to say. I thought this would be it. If this was your postcard, you just have, here's your statement. You rock. And then you just draw kind of an amorphous blob, and put some dots down towards the bottom, and a little line, exclamation point, give it a sign, and you have just created a really simple, easy, really kind of silly, but you rock, and you can just draw rocks all day, because anybody can draw a rock. It's just look at that. It's a rock. Well, put some ground in there, maybe a shadow. Boom, rock. So let's go back to the flower. So you can get different styles of flowers. You might have to find a reference, but one of the things that I do when I kind of cartoon a rose is I kind of do these overlapping little concentric circles, you know, which kind of end up really, you know, since I'm not looking at a rose right now, tend to look really kind of blurby. But if you have some colored pencils, let's put in some, you know, leaves in here. If you have some colored pencils, all of a sudden, you know, it doesn't matter as much that your, you know, flower doesn't look like a blob, but you add some red in there, and all of a sudden it is instantly a rose. Weird. So the other things you can do. So if we go back to the example of just the smiley face, you can add. You got your petals. Do some eyes. Big crazy smile. Some teeth. You know, make it your own. You know, do this. Let's do the straight. Let's do a couple of these guys. Let's make them a big smile with a kind of a yell. But the thing is once you finish this, no matter the great thing is your friends, you know, they're gonna know you. They love you. You love them, and you know you want to spend more time with them and miss them. So celebrate your friends, send them some notes, send them some crazy illustrations, and then see what you can do. But basically, and then and if you have trouble with if you're having trouble with the sentiment, find some good quotes. You know, look up a quote and write the quote down, and then just doodle and scribble all over it, and do some stuff in the corners. You know, it'll be fun. Oh, another thing, I just remember another thing. So one of the things you can do is you can make a vine, and so basically it's taking a little squiggle. So and then vines always go thin to thick. So let's add in a little bit of a vine, and then we can add in some leaves. And as you can tell, my leaves aren't perfect. You could just even do some triangles. You know? And then let's throw in, here's another simple thing we can do. So I don't know if anybody, if you've seen a butterfly, it's basically just a line and then a couple of basically wings and petals. You know, but if you draw it like this, all of a sudden, once you add a little bit of color to it, or just some dots. Let's just do some dots, black and white. You know. Let's put in an extra little line down the vine, make it a little bit woody. You know. But basically, shade in some of the backgrounds. You know. If your leaves look a little bit squared off, let's just add some more leaves around it. You know. Don't worry about it. Color it in. You know. Oh, and the other thing too is your vine can do some really kind of crazy things like make shapes. You know, and I'm going fast so that this is really scribbly, but you know, add in some color. Throw some color down. And you know, all of a sudden a mess becomes something important. So you can say just, you know, here we go, L-O-V-E. You know. Anyway, let me know what you think. A little bit of a different style. Hopefully I can get this edited correctly. And thanks a lot. Today's day 11. I will be doing a postcard too. I'm not sure if I'll film that, because I think this process is more important. But I will, you know what? I'll film it, and then whether or not I edit it will be up to you. Let me know if you want me to show you. If not, I'll just keep it in the vault for a rainy day when I don't have the energy to create something. Yeah, I filmed it, and I decided to show it because it seemed silly not to. So hope you enjoy this. I have to apologize a little bit. I discovered in my editing that I have a verbal tic, so I will do my best to get rid of it. Starting out with the pencils. Dancing flowers are pretty fun to draw. Hope you guys give it a shot. The great thing about them is you really can't make a mistake. Smiley faces, flower petals, mishmash. Switched up to a thicker pencil for a dance, and then had to come back and make sure my line's connected. Get those musical notes in there. Instead of the solid circle, I did a little bit of a dashed line. Give it a little bit more of a fuzzy look. See there, I screwed up. I had the lines, the veins for the leaf going the wrong way, but I'm not worried. Really change up your smiley faces, make them your own. Eraser, no mishaps, always good. Here comes the color. Oh, I had a couple lines I had to add. I tend to start with the lightest color and work my way to the darker colors. At least with the green, like when I'm dealing with the same kind of color, so the greens. This kind of like grayish olive green is called leaf green. A little orange, kind of give them a little bit of depth just on that left edge. A little blue for some hint at some sky. I didn't want to do any really solid colors for the petals, but I also didn't want them to just be white. It's actually so light you might not be able to really tell that there is color there, but once I hit it with the water, it blends out a little bit. I missed a spot. Okay, I ended up thinking that it was silly not to film my postcard and include it. So, here you go. Stop and smell the flowers, but dance with them too. So, see you tomorrow. Thanks again, and please like, share, and subscribe. And see you tomorrow. Thanks.